This is George Dionne with Metal Express Radio, and I'm here with Mike Tirelli of Holy Mother. How you doing today, Mike?
I'm doing quite well. Thank you, George.
Awesome. Your new album, Face This Burn, February 12th, 2021. It's coming out on Massacre Records. I had a chance to preview the album. Excellent. Fantastic album. Very impressed.
Thank you. We're very satisfied with the album. You know, over the years, before Holy Mother released something, actually, I think it was 17 years ago, but, you know, through the 90s, late 90s, whatever, we're always not satisfied with the production and always being rushed and always having smaller budgets and stuff like that to record. And just this time, I really, I've been busy with other music, but I figured it'd be a great time to bring Holy Mother back. People are always asking, the whereabouts or what's going on with Holy Mother, and as I'm playing with other bands and all that. And Jim Harris, my partner, my writing partner, my buddy, he writes most of the lyrics for the songs, and I write most of the music. And with that said, I had a project called Rising 5, and I had the song No Death Reborn, and I would always send him ideas, and he would just send me lyrics back to what I was singing. And basically, that's how Holy Mother might be one of your questions you could ask me. Okay, so basically, we're very excited about the album, everything about it. It's like I even put it on today, and being the artist, I can listen to it and say, it still sounds good, and I've been listening to it for quite some time, since like June, since it was mixed,
I think that the songs that you've released videos for are a good representation of the album. You put out Face This Burn, I believe, recently. Love Is Dead, No Death Reborn.
Right.
Do you think those are the strongest songs on the album? Is that why they're out first?
I could never tell you that, because I'll tell you, when I first heard all the mixes, my favorite song was The Truth.
Yep.
I'm thinking this song has really got something going on. Now, every interview that I've been doing, and my musician friends, are like, all the songs are really good. It's crazy. You guys did a great job. But I'll tell you, The Truth really stands out. And I tend to agree with them. So we're going to do another video. We're going to do as many videos as we can because of the circumstances with COVID. Touring is out of the question for Europe.
Yep.
And, I'm deeply disappointed. But you know what? There's other bands that are in the same boat as me. And as far as, they go, they feel as bad or maybe even worse. Bands like Disturbed, Five Finger Death Punch, they're touring constantly. They're always out on the road, 250 shows a year, maybe 300 shows a year. And they probably have it worse than I did, because I wasn't doing that many a year.
Yeah.
Maybe with all the other bands, so many different projects and different, bands. So yeah.
So Holy Mother's been kind of on standstill since 2003. What led to the band breaking up and then getting back together?
Basically, I got involved with another band from Germany, which at first I was reluctant to do. I was finishing up the last album, Agoraphobia, by myself. Me and Jim split. Jim was having, his kids, and he was pressured. There was a lot of pressure at home, and Jim is also a writer. He wrote 2 books, 2 fiction thriller books, and he was in the process of doing that as well. And he said he needed to bail out for a while. So I did the Agoraphobia album by myself with a new label. It was SPV, Steamhammer at the time. And I had a manager, his name was Ronna Hansel. And, he just started to bail out. And then I just did the last album. And then after that, I was like, it's about time just to focus on Messiah's Kiss for a while. We toured that for a while. And I got involved with other things. I've been in a 8-piece band that does weddings and corporate stuff. And, I've been doing that for a while. It's not metal.
It pays good, yeah.
And great musicians and great people. do that. I do other things. I got involved with Riot, played with Riot for a couple of years, did a lot of touring with them, Japan, Europe, America, and just, always staying busy, and doing a couple of tribute. I do a Whitesnake tribute. Coverdale's one of my favorite. Dio is definitely my favorite, and I do I did a Dio tribute for a while. I was just putting together a new band before COVID hit to get out there and do even more. It was going to be called Dio Dale. I was going to do all the hits from Dio and all the hits from Coverdale.
Nice.
That squashed down, but that's basically it. So I took time off, and then when I put together a project called Rising 5, I put it out myself. No Death Reborn was a song that I wrote for that album, and it was an EP, actually, just a short EP. And Jim wrote the lyrics to it, and we're still friends. We were always friends, and when I sent him over the lyric, he sent it back to what I was singing, and it worked out perfect. And I said to him, "Hey, listen, I've been speaking to Thomas Hertler at Massacre Records, and he's interested in what I'm doing. He's always been a supporter, and he's a great guy." And I said, "Listen, I pitched it to him. I said, what about Holy Mother, coming back?" And he thought it was an amazing idea. And then Jim, was always in the band. And, of course, Randy Coven was an original member and played on every Holy Mother album that we released. And even the project that we did in between Holy Mother in 97, I think it was, called NOW. And Randy passed about 7 years ago.
Yep.
And so we're dedicating the album to Randy Coven as well. And we actually brought back 2 songs, one from the NOW album, which is Prince of the Garden, and we also brought back The River. So that's basically it. So we brought, put it all back together. I had a lot of songs that I wrote, and I worked on them with Jim, and we put it all together, and then we gave it to our brilliant guitar player, Greg Giordano, and that's basically it. And now we have Russell Zudo playing bass from Twisted Sister, not Twisted, but Dee Snider's band.
Yeah.
That's basically it. We're here, and I'm really, like I said, I'm really excited. I'm happy with production. I used Kane Churko. You might know his dad as well. They did all the big bands like newer bands like Disturbed, Five Finger Death Punch, In This Moment, Papa Roach, just name it. I mean, even Ozzy, all that kind of stuff. They're huge, So I wanted great production. And, because this is the kind of thing you live with forever,
Sure.
And then, and the songs, I was really adamant about having songs that were classic heavy metal and then having a modern twist to it, which has been so far extremely successful with all the interviews I've been doing so far. They've been saying pretty much the same thing. So they're really getting my vibe, and I'm really excited about that.
Now, I noticed this album's not going to have a vinyl version, or is that something that might come later if the original release goes well?
That's exactly the terms, what you just said. You see, it just got actually released in Europe on the 22nd of January. And I'll tell you, Massacre's been really great. They teamed up with AFM Records as well. Dustin Hardman is a great guy. When I was in Florida, actually, I met him for the first time. And they had a great plan for Holy Mother, and I believe we have a good plan because basically the songs that we have are very versatile, and I think it's very marketable. So I think they see that, and I appreciate that a lot, Yeah, so...
Yeah, you got a good team behind you. Got a good team behind you.
We do. And even this today, I got an email again from Apple Music featuring hard rock. What is it again? I keep forgetting the Breaking Hard Rock, and now they got The River on there.
Nice.
It's like they're hitting all outlets, music outlets, and it's great, and so they're great. They really have been great, and totally appreciate them. And even Ancha has been breaking her ass doing her gig, getting all the music together and all the, it was a lot of work getting all the preliminary stuff before the album as well.
Sure. You got your daughter to sing backup on this album. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, she actually sang. No Death Reborn was recorded 3 years ago.
Okay.
And she was 10. Now she's 13. It's funny. From 10 to 13 is a big difference, you know?
Yeah.
You know, so. But, yeah, she's also very talented. She's got perfect pitch. I don't know. It's amazing to have what she has. I wish I had that, but she's great, really great. She plays keys. She sings, and she's very musical. And I had her actually sing on a bunch of stuff. And she actually wrote some melody on some of the songs, like Wake Up America, the midsection there. She actually wrote that melody. I'd bring her in and say, sing something. And she would sing. You know why? Because it's something that I would not do. You know what I mean? I don't want to make it typical. Like you try to be, when you're writing something,
yeah.
You know, as far as melody, I want to have something that's going to be something that she would think about, you know? And she's got, her melody is amazing. So I'm like, wow, that's great. So I used her melody. Of course, I changed her lyric because it was a little gumballish or, you know,
youthful.
Cheesy. Yeah. That wouldn't work with the metal fans and hard rock fans, right?
Exactly. You mentioned Dee Snider bassist Russ Zudo's playing on the album. How did you get him involved?
You know what? It's funny because I was thinking about the other day. How the hell did I get him involved? And it wasn't Danny Stanton who's managing Holy Mother right now. Danny Stanton is Dee's manager as well. How did I get him? I think it's funny because it's very recent, obviously, and I don't remember. I think I tried out a bunch of bass players, and all of them were really brilliant, amazing bass players. And Russell, I think I saw like something on Facebook or whatever, and I just figured, hey, see what Russ is up to. I think he's playing with D, but he'd be a great fit for Holy Mother. I reached out to him, basically, and he was, you know, extremely interested in it. And it's funny because then Danny Stanton said he wanted to manage the band, and I said, Danny, what do you think of Russell? He goes, I love Russell. I'm managing him. But it wasn't because of Danny Stanton that Russell got in the band. It's kind of weird. So it all worked out. It was meant to be, you know?
Absolutely. You were in another band recently called Messiah's Kiss, and I'm kind of noticing you got Holy Mother, Messiah's Kiss. Is there sort of like is that coincidence that there's sort of a biblical context in the two bands' names?
Not at all. Believe it or not, it really ain't.
Okay.
I think Randy Colby came up with that name back in the day. Yeah, it was like me and Randy, and he's like, Holy Mother. I'm like, yeah, why not? Holy Mother, Holy Mother, whatever, you know, it had nothing to do with that, no.
Okay. I discovered while researching your past that you were the singer in Jack Starr's Burning Star from 86 to 89.
Yes, I was.
What do you remember? What do you remember about that time?
Say again?
What do you remember about being in the band at that time?
I don't remember anything. No, I remember a lot. It was a great time. I mean, 1986 was the first album. No Turning Back is the first album I ever did that was actually like international. You know, he got me on the map with all in Europe and stuff like that, and it was a great opportunity for me. You know, I was a local guy and playing in a local band, and I remember Dave DeFay from Verdant Steel came over my house when I lived in Center Reach at my mom and dad's house, and I was you know, a couple of years younger than Dave. He was, I don't remember the age he was or whatever, but he comes over, you know, we went over the album because he was producing it, and he comes over. It's funny because he comes over with long hair, and I think at the time I was like just turning maybe 17, 18, I don't know, whatever. And my father's a cop, and he looks at him, he's thinking, well, this guy's a drug addict or, you know, judgment, you know. But Dave is a perfect gentleman and a great guy, and, you know. So I remember that. That was a great time going over, you know, pre-production before the album. And then went in, we recorded it, and it was great. Dave was great in the studio. He helped me out a lot. And it got a lot of recognition, you know. It did pretty good, No Turning Back, you know.
Yeah.
And then we used to play locally. We were managed by by a local guy who owned a club called Sundance in Bayshore. It was a very popular rock club in Long Island. And we used to play in front of a lot of the bands that came through, all the national acts and stuff like that. So it was a great time. Burning Star was a great, great, great time, I'll tell you. Jim Harris was in the band with me as well, his drummer.
Yeah. Do you keep in touch with Jack Starr at all?
I just talked to him when I was in Florida last week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he goes, we should do something. I'm like, yeah, we should do, a song or two together. Why not,
Absolutely. He's still out there. He's still kicking it. You're still out there kicking it. Why not? Now's the time. Now that everybody's locked down.
I know. I've done a lot of different projects as well. That's coming out.
Oh, good.
I just did a project with a band called Reverend Jack. They're a band from Kentucky, a hard rock band.
Yep.
And they're all like 20 years old, and they're a great band. Sounds like a Guns N' Roses mixture. And their manager, Chris Leperage, who works for Whitesnake, TSO, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and works for Foreigner now. He asked me, he says, you want to sing on this one song or whatever? So he sent me over the music, and with a couple of lyrics, but I wrote all the lyrics, and most of all the lyrics, I changed everything, and then I wrote all the melody, and made it into like a rock anthem kind of song. And then Joel Holster from Whitesnake played the solo on it, so it's really good. It was a really good song.
Nice. I just talked to Joel last week.
Say what?
I just talked to Joel last week.
Oh, yeah. He's keeping busy. I mean, he's a phenomenal guitar player, I'll tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Fucking great. And I've been busy with Richie Castellano from Blue Oyster Cult has a show called Band Geek. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I've heard of it.
You should check out some of the videos I did. I did 3 videos with him. I did Here I Go Again from Whitesnake, and I did Children of the Sea from Black Sabbath, and I did To Be With You from Mr. Big. And these guys are great. You got to hear the band. Amazing. Great response. We got almost 700,000 views already on the Whitesnake song.
Nice.
Killer stuff.
Now, this new album is going to be available for streaming, but previous Holy Mother albums are not available.
That's what the problem was. I'll tell you what. We were on a very small label. When the band came out in 1996 or 97 or whatever with Toxic Rain, well, first of all, we did an album was like more of a rock record or whatever. And then record label says you got to be really heavy, much heavier. Judas Priest, Painkiller heavy, So then we came out with Toxic Rain, and the reviews were just amazing, and it was just like people were like, "Who is this band?" Production was not good. We were always rushed, to do it to finish the product. We used to go to Germany, record it 10 days, record, mix, mastered everything, and it was like, always rushing around and then doing a show in between. It was crazy. So the production was not good at all. And it always irked me through all these years. But I'll tell you, Toxic Rain, it was on a small label called Shark Records. And you can, like you said, you can't get it anywhere. So it's kind of rare, which is a good thing. Because we plan to release the catalog maybe sometime next year or the year after. So it's good. It's kind of a good thing,
Right. I think that with the release of Face This Burn, there's going to be a lot of interest in your back catalog because this album is killer. I mean, I think you're looking at a 10 out of 10 here. Wow.
That's what I love to hear. As a musician, you just love to hear that, and I appreciate that very much. Jim said to me the other day, he says, there's so many good songs on Toxic Rain. And I'm like, yeah, maybe we'll do another song on Toxic Rain or whatever, Again, I said the production was not that great, and I think that was not, I think that hurt us a little bit. Mm-hmm. But yet, having no distribution and budget behind us to get out and play. Our first show was Vakken, actually, with Holy Mother.
Yeah.
And in between that, we recorded the next record. We had to hurry up and do that because we were over there. And it was just a crazy, crazy scene. That's what drove Jim crazy, too. At the end, it was just so much, pressure at the end. And so Yeah, so I think the back catalog will be released soon, or we're going to figure out something. Because a lot of the interviewers, like yourself, went out and got the back catalog. You know, they ordered it online from somewhere.
Yeah.
But like again, you can't stream it. The only one you can is the one that was on SPV Steamhound, which is Agoraphobia, which is not my favorite record.
No. Well, that's all right. They can't all be winners.
Yeah, exactly.
But this one is a winner, and that I'm glad that I had the chance to speak with you about Face This Burn. It's a great album, and I wish you a lot of success from it.
I appreciate it very much. Yeah, I mean, you know what it is in the day of in these days of social media. It's you know, it's a lot easier for someone who's in their 20s or whatever, because it comes a lot easier.
Yeah.
Not that we're pushing as much as we can on social media, because that's the way to really get anywhere today. You know, the label's doing their job.
Yep.
We're going to do 3 more videos though. And I think it's going to be probably The River, The Truth, and maybe Prince of the Garden.
Yeah.
Mix it up a little bit. So, with it, so that's all we can do. But, yeah.
Great. That's all I got for you today, Mike. I really appreciate you taking the time.
I really appreciate you taking your time, too. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, George.